name is Nancy Cote, and today I'd like to be talking about my brand new book, Apartment for Rent, with Ariella Books, Berlin, Germany. I just wanted to take you inside my studio. We're sitting outside the studio right now filming this, and I thought I'd take you in and show you some of the artwork and talk to you a little bit about the book. This is the manuscript for Apartment for Rent, and it was written by Leah Goldberg, who was born in 1911 and died in 1970. She lived in Israel, and she was a very, very famous writer, very well loved by children all around, and she wrote many, many stories, and most children in Israel own at least one of her stories, and everyone knows of her. That's why I feel so honored to be able to redo the artwork for this particular story. It is just such an amazing, powerful story with such universal theme. And actually, it deals with issues of intolerance, discrimination, and pretty much concentrates on living together in society and acceptance and living in harmony. This is basically a mocked up book dummy at this point. It was the manuscript originally, but it's pretty well all mocked up with the English version on top of the German version. But these are my sketches. It's very messy at this point because it's just a working manuscript. But I would love to take you over to my drawing table and show you some of the final artwork that I am working on. Now, I haven't gone very far, so I just wanted to document what I've done so far on this story, and we needed to get an idea of the characters. And I should probably tell you a little bit about the story first. This story is about a tower where there are 5 different levels in it. And on the 5th floor, a mouse used to live there, but he decided to move out of the apartment, and the rest of the tenants never knew why he moved out, but he did. And then they had an apartment for rent, and so they made up a sign, and then they interviewed all of the prospective tenants for the new space. Some of the characters that are in the story are a cat, a cuckoo bird, a hen, and a squirrel. And I've decided in working with this particular manuscript to translate it involving the arts. Now, there was never indication about that at all in the manuscript, that these would be artists of any sort. But I decided on my own that that's the way I would do it. So the cat represents dancing, the cuckoo bird represents an artist, the hen represents an intellectual scholar, and the squirrel is a drummer, so he's a musician. Now, this is not one of the pieces that will be featured in the book, but I created this as a promo piece, and that's when I first developed the characters. So this is, you get a little bit of an idea of what the tower looks like. But actually, since then, I've really changed it quite a lot, and the tower is made of bricks. So in this picture, though, you can see that the little mouse is actually leaving. He's got his suitcases packed, and he's leaving, and the tenants are all taking a look and watching him as he exits the apartment. You sure you don't want to get out here? Hi, I'm Nancy Cote, and this is inside the studio. It's pretty messy, as you can see, but this is pretty much the way it is all of the time. I work from morning till night almost every single day, and I feel like I have the most wonderful job that anyone could ever have, and I have been so fortunate, particularly to get this particular job to illustrate Apartment for Rent by Leah Goldberg and translated by Mirjam Pressler. The way I'm creating this, the artwork for this story is through acrylics and collage, and in order to collage, sometimes I need to create my own papers. And in this case, just yesterday I made a sheet of bricks. And what I really like about the way these bricks came out is that they have a lot of energy and they have a lot of rhythm. And so I will use these possibly for the end pages in the story, and I will also be creating the tower out of these bricks. These are the sketches. These are the original sketches. I've just finished them, just completed them, sent them on to the publisher, Myriam Halberstam at Ariella Books in Berlin, Germany, and now she has sent the sketches on to Israel, and there is a group in Israel who are the ones who are involved in deciding if any artwork that is done for any story that Leah Goldberg has created is acceptable. And so we're just awaiting word on that, and when that happens I can start in on all of the final paintings. This is my workspace. I'm working with acrylic paint and collage. And these are all of the jars of my paints. I use very small jars of paint, and I use liquid acrylics, and then I use some of the larger jars of paint as well. You see my brushes, pencils, palette knife, scissors, all of the things that I need. And this is my palette where I do all of the mixing of my work. I put a cover on it every night so that the paint stays wet. This is my drawing table, where everything happens. And I've also been using my iPad pretty much all of the time on every project that I work on. I do all communication with publishers through my iPad. I can do rough sketches on my iPad with certain art app programs, and I find it to be an invaluable tool these days as well. Okay, this is my workspace. Here you'll see all of the acrylic paints that I use to create my illustrations. I work with fluid acrylics and matte medium, water, palette, where I do all of my mixing, all of my brushes, scissors, everything that I need to create the illustrations for Apartment for Rent. So I feel so very, very fortunate to be able to be working on this story, which again was written by Leah Goldberg and translated by Mirjam Pressler. It has been the most wonderful experience I've ever had, and I feel like I have the best job in the world in being able to illustrate or re-illustrate Apartment for Rent.